Good morning to you. It is a Thursday, but hey, it's April the 22nd. It's Earth Day. Hope you're having a great morning. It's a beautiful morning out there in Houston. If you haven't been outside, make sure you do so. Get out and enjoy it. Boy, I don't know how many more of these cool mornings we're going to have, but I'm loving it while we're having it. Brittany Pacheco is joining us on this Earth Day. Brittany, good morning. You know, I got a quick Earth Day story for you.
Okay.
All right. So I was about 8 or 9 years old, living in New Orleans at the time. And they had this big Earth Day festival at City Park in New Orleans. Well, my dad was on this volunteer committee for a civic organization. And their job was to go man the beer truck at the gardens so that they could serve beer to all the participants of Earth Day. So my dad brought me along. He said, hey, you want to do some volunteer work? I'm like, yeah, what else I got to do? So he brings me out there. My job that day at 8 years old, serving beer. We pull the draft beer, hand it, take the money. And, I'm sure that's illegal these days, but back then, hey, it was the 70s, it was New Orleans, and it was all fun.
I literally was just going to say the same thing.
Of Earth Day. Yeah, there you go.
Literally was just going to say the same thing. I'm pretty sure back then it was not entirely frowned upon, but 70s was a weird time,
It was, but that's my memory of Earth Day. Of course, it's a lot more meaningful nowadays. And, I always love it when we have Earth Day on a beautiful day. And that's what today is.
That's true. It is very beautiful outside. And it's also the fourth day of the hostage situation for us here, working from home.
You mean work from home?
Yes.
How's your commute this morning? Getting to the refrigerator, then to your office?
Listen, I have a little, fur child I have to tend to, so that's work right there. Come on.
Okay.
You've got two of them. You know what it is.
Well, she's on the show 3 days this week, folks. So we know she's working for at least 3 days.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever. Anyway, excuse me. Good morning to everyone joining us for this morning's edition of Up to the Minute. We're very happy to have you join us for, as I like to call it, Earth Day. In case you missed yesterday's, faux pas of me pronouncing the word Earth. Okay. Anyway, but I'm very excited for our guest today. We do have a very special guest from the Museum of Natural Science. And before we get into it, I do want to remind everyone to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Yes, go and follow us on all those platforms. I know you are probably there as it is. Just, go ahead and follow HCC. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. That way you can be the first to find out the latest video uploads from us. And last but not least, in order to grow our audience, we are asking our audience to hit that share button at the bottom of this podcast. That way it pops up on your personal news feed so that we can share this great information to those who may not be aware that HCC has social media. But hey, let's do our part, y'all. So Todd, let's get into today's show.
All right. I know you're busy because now Brittany takes her dog out every morning during the show. So she's got to go do that now. All right. Get to it. We'll check in with you later on. It is Earth Day, as we mentioned, and it's also Thursday Virtual Family Fun Day. Our special guest this morning is Nicole Temple. She's the Vice President of Education with the Houston Museum of Natural Science. Good morning to you, Nicole.
Good morning to you.
Well, thanks for being here on Earth Day. We're looking forward to talking with you and hear more about what's going on at the Museum of Natural Science. Stand by. We'll be right with you. At the top of the show, though, we've got a special guest. We've been talking with a number of our NISOD winners here at HCC. Today is no exception. Gregory Tindel, the welding faculty of the Material Science Center of Excellence, joins us this morning. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
We are good. We appreciate you being on the show this morning. We want to tell everybody about our welding program. But first, I want to ask you about the NISOD Award and what that means to you. Did you know you were nominated?
Yeah, I received that information via email and through my dean, and I'm happy to receive the award, and I appreciate the folks that put me in for that award. I know based on student feedback and colleagues, they made a recommendation, and I'm really thankful and appreciate the opportunity to apply my principles of teaching at Houston Community College.
Well, Greg, I know we've been talking about welding. It seems like all the time we're promoting the welding program here and Up to the Minute. We know it's a very popular program, but here in the city of Houston, people think welding, well, I may be involved with the oil and gas industry, but really it's so much more. There's tons of constructions going on around Houston and they're needing welders. So I imagine your students, when they get out in the certifications, they don't have any problem finding a job.
No, the world of welding opportunity is unlimited. I mean, when you think about it, most everything we touch today is a form of welding. You're getting your car, it's welded. You fly a plane, train, boats. You're in a high rise. Your appliances are through a welding process. Your food products, your chemical plants, your oil and gas oil. So yeah, it's not only the oil and gas industry. It's your world has some type of welding exposure.
And you train your students to prepare for a career in the welding industry, but you also train them to allow them some artistic creativity. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Well, yeah. So, you think of welding and most people think, well, I'm going to get a job as welding, but you look around the society, the world, there's arts. And so I try to expose the students to tap into creativity, like, okay, let's do an art project besides doing our welding functions. And we've done that. And so that world they hadn't been exposed to because they have, hey, I got to get a job as a welder. I want a job, but there's more to a job in welding. There's your arts. You can do creative things with the world of welding.
And you have a special project you guys have been assigned. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Yeah, so one of my class, I told the students, let's create a project. It's a geometric animal design where we cut out a figure. And this is kind of like an antelope. And it's made out of, metal. It's they got to, get the metal. They clean the metal. They design, cut it, and weld it together. So they have a little project that's a figure of an antelope, and you may have a picture of it. I sent an email, but they really enjoyed it and they tapped into some of their creativity besides, okay, I got to weld this steel for a house or building or car. So now they can do an art project.
All of our lives changed a year ago in March of 2020 when we had to go online with a lot of our instruction. How did you guys deal with that when you had to convert online? I know you were one of the first programs to actually bring those students back on the campuses when we were allowed to open some, but there were a couple of months, I know, where everything had to go online. How were you students functioning? How were you able to continue on with instruction?
Well, we tapped into Canvas, and within Canvas program, there's a big blue button, and it's like Zoom. So actually, you have really more intimacy with the student because you're zooming in like we are now. So you get to actually have more relationship with those students through the conversation with Zoom or the big blue button. And it worked really well. And we talked about our lesson plan. We had exams, class virtuality.
And you were one of the first programs to bring students back on the campuses. And I guess people don't realize, though, but it was a lot. In reality, it was kind of safer for your students because they have stalls that they work in. So it kept the social distancing in place. And you're already wearing a mask when you're welding anyway.
Exactly. So, yeah. The COVID was a challenge, but because the technical nature of welding, you have welding booths, we call it, and they're separated by, metal stalls. And so we could comply with the regulations for COVID protection very easily in the welding program.
Well, there's a lot of interest for people getting into welding because obviously there are a lot of jobs out there, but the money's pretty good. How short of a time can someone get certified in welding and actually go out and start working? And then they continue once they get a job to carry on their college career to get more certifications? Yeah,
welding has opportunity unlimited. I mean, within 8 months, you can obtain a job as a structural steel welding. You go a little longer, for a year, you'll receive a pipe certification, weld pipe. So naturally, structural steel is flat. It's easier to weld pipes around, so it takes more technical skills. But the opportunity for welding is just unlimited. I mean, for all kind of industries.
If you're a welder, can you take on jobs where you could go work for either the oil and gas industry or either construction or manufacturing? Do you have all those abilities to do that, or do you need to pick one and stay with it?
No. You have multiple lines of opportunity for different types of welding, different types of processes. It's just a fascinating world of opportunity for employment. And I worked all over the United States in different industries, and once you learn the welding processes, those can be applied to all the type of industries and manufacturing processes that requires welding.
And I know it may be an industry where you have a lot of males, but that's changing now, because I know we've done some stories at HCC about a lot of women that are looking to get into welding and making some big bucks doing so.
Yeah, and we did have female students, and I've worked, like I said, all over the United States, and I've met a lot of female welders, and they're actually better welders than some men. So you can't, it's welding is eye-hand coordination, and one of my students says she does so well because growing up she sewed, and it's an eye-hand coordination, the stitching, that she was doing with her mom, gave her that eye-hand coordination where guys didn't do too much sewing, right? So some of their eye-hand coordination is not intrigued as the female. So yeah, they're excellent welders as well as men.
Absolutely. And we're encouraging everyone to check out our welding program. We're looking for students. We've got year-round registration here at HCC. Of course, we're registering for the summer and the fall as well. And we'll have links to the welding program and the Center of Excellence in our post for this show, the social media post. Greg, thanks for being here. Congratulations on the award again.
Okay. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
All right, we're going to move on. We're talking Earth Day today, and we've got Nicole Temple. She's the Vice President of Education at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. Also, our Thursday virtual Family Fun Day guest. Good morning to you, Nicole. How are things going?
Good morning. Things are going pretty good. We've been busy at the museum all month celebrating not just Earth Day, but Earth Month.
Right. So tell us specifically today, any big events you have going on that people can take a look at or join you for?
We do have some things going on. So we have all sorts of adventures. We've had things happening all month on Wednesdays, right, where we've been giving conservation tours via Facebook. You can join them. They're free. Just go to our Facebook page. And then the thing that I am particularly excited about is, you may not know this, but we participate in the City Nature Challenge. And the City Nature Challenge is a thing that you can do totally on your own, socially distanced, for free. All you need is a cell phone. It basically is a bio blitz that happens between the 29th of April through the 1st of May. And you download the iNaturalist app, and any pictures you take during that period, you automatically upload, and scientists basically identify what you've seen and confirm it. Wow. And then they use that information to do research and to keep track of things. So one of the things we've done, we had a lecture earlier in the month that should be available here in a hot minute online for free, where we explained how it's used and what you use it for. And then you can also find last year's Earth Day lecture talking about the ways that scientists in your local community have used this information to make sure that they are keeping track of invasive species and what needs protections, making sure that we're keeping our neighborhood healthy.
So you could be Instagramming, but also uploading your pictures to help scientific research to save you.
Yeah. In fact, if you don't want to use your cell phone, you can actually use like a digital camera or however you do pictures, and you can upload them to the website, or you can get them out of your Instagram reel off of your phone if you're taking pictures, like you're going to go do blue bonnets. But we have a little bit of a challenge happening this year. We've got the 12 species that are hard to find in Houston, and we're trying to get them. Somebody to identify them. And the cool thing about it is, you may or may not know this, probably not, but Houston actually won last year for the highest diversity of species that were recorded. And we got, I think, number 2 in the United States for the number of observations.
Wow. So it sounds like there's a lot going on. It sounds almost like a scavenger hunt where you can gather data for scientists. Let's talk a bit about Earth Day. I remember it from the 70s, but you've got a little bit of a history on Earth Day because from what I understand, it started in 1970.
Yeah, it started about the same time that Silent Spring came, where we started realizing that we were having species lost and it was a problem. And so Earth Day, started as part of that movement to keep track of what's going on. So, for example, about that same time, bald eagles started becoming a protected species, as did alligators, because they were almost hunted to extinction in the United States. And since then, alligators are no longer a problem.
Right.
Bald eagles are no longer a problem. Numbers are a little low on bald eagles, but they're not a threatened species.
Right. And boy, we've seen the alligator population explode. Just take a drive down to Fort Bend County, and they've got that, I think it's a Big Bend Park, the park down there with all the alligators. What an incredible sight there. Let's talk about what you guys have coming up with nocturnal bug viewing opportunities.
So I'm trying to explain what this is. It always sounds bonkers. So we are having the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion has an artist in residence, and it is part of the University of Houston system, where they are offering Brandon Ballingy, who is a biologist, but he is also an artist, to bring a piece of his artwork to the museum. We're doing it on the 30th in Sugar Land, and we're doing it on the 1st at the Herman Park location. It's free in both locations. But it's a giant light up bug. So it's a sculptural element that's got UV lights in it. And the reason why the UV lights are there is because nocturnal bugs see things differently. Like nocturnal creatures, I should say, see things differently than we do. And they are attracted to the UV lights. So you can come learn about the iNaturalist app and the City Nature Challenge. Then Brandon's going to talk for a little bit. And then we're going to turn on this giant bug. And we're going to see what shows up, because you may have one set of animals that you see during the day, but you're definitely going to see a different set of animals at night.
Yeah, and I know from experience, turn on those lights and you'll have all types of bugs showing up for that. So that should be interesting this time of year, especially. You guys are doing a lot of stuff online. I imagine you obviously before COVID, but during COVID, you produced a lot of material online, and people can still go and view. I imagine you have a YouTube channel and a lot of offerings where people can watch your offerings from the safety of their homes.
Yes. So we have a couple different avenues for people to get access to things. So one, we have some videos up on YouTube, like you said, and we filmed a number of things when we went into lockdown, because we could come to the museum and it would be 2 people. So we were socially distanced. And then since then, we have been adding more material to it. So you can also go to our webpage and go to the HMNS at Home page, and there's activities for you to do. There's videos for you to do. And then we also have some different offerings. So we offer virtual outreach. So our outreach programs that would normally come to school, we've recorded some of them, and some of them are live, depending on what they are. And then we also have opportunities for parents to sort of get involved with their kids. So we have some adventure boxes. The one that we are offering in the gift shop right now is an outdoor adventure box. So you can learn about national parks at home, and then there's some outdoor sort of activities for you to do where you're doing some nature journaling and some observations and some artwork.
And Nicole, when people if they're interested in coming to the museum, I imagine things will be looking a little bit different because of safety precautions. What are the requirements you're asking when people come to the museum? Are there lesser amounts of people? Should you buy your tickets online, plan on having a mask? What should you do?
So if you're coming in general, you have to wear your mask. It's for your safety and it's for ours. So I'm currently, because I'm a teacher, I got my second shot and I'm totally vaccinated, but we're trying to make sure that we're keeping everybody as safe as possible. Yep. Until we get to a point where we have sort of immunity as a city. Then the second thing is, if you want to come and see something specifically at a specific time, you should probably get your tickets ahead of time because we do have limited capacities. Yeah. So if you you want to come see Body Worlds at 10, or you want to come see Pompeii at 10, or one of the videos, you need to make sure you get your tickets ahead of time. If you just are excited about coming to the museum, you can get into the permanent exhibit halls pretty easily, but we do have a limited capacity. So on the weekends, things have a tendency to sell out faster. Right. During the weekdays, it's less of a problem.
So it sounds like the best thing to do is get your tickets online, plan ahead, and that way you're insured to get in.
And then you don't have to stand in line.
Yeah. Absolutely. Always love that. Museum of Natural Science, one of my favorites. Definitely looking forward to getting out there sometime soon. Happy Earth Day to you. Thanks for being here. Nicole Temple, Vice President of Education there.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right. We are going to move on to Brittany, of course, with our HCC News and Announcements. Brittany, and it makes sense during Earth Day to announce this, but HCC's got a campaign where we're trying to go have our campuses completely smokeless, smoke-free. And we are reaching out to get our community and our students and faculty and staff involved.
That's right. So the chance of becoming the first community college to do so in the greater Houston area is huge. But that means we need support from everyone and everywhere. Show your support with these opportunities, which have extended deadlines. Now we've got a video contest, a scholarship contest, a poster contest, and we're also going to do some giveaways. There's even an Hcc Quit Kits. Now what that is smoking actually just puts stress on the body. So sign up to have a Quit Kit to help de-stress while supplies last. And it includes a stress reliever ball and essential oil. I love essential oils. Oh my goodness. Right. They're fantastic. So way too many events to really dive into for each, but we're going to tell you where you can go to check out more and about the prizes. So visit our Eagle Experience page for more information. We're going to include that link in this post after the show, but you can also email Student Life, which is hcc.studentlife@hccs.edu.
Those quick kits are great ideas, because we could all relieve some stress. And we talked about this last week. You know what else relieves stress?
What?
Tequila. We talked about that, but
we did.
I know, it's frowned upon. So try the Quit Kits. It's a great deal. And, we'll see our campuses hopefully smoke-free soon. All right. Student Life Wellness and Zoo events. Hey, those are coming up. Join Student Life and Rec Sports to learn ways to create a healthier lifestyle. Mindful meditation, something Brittany should be looking into. 7 p.m. Thursday, April the 22nd. Earth Day Virtual Zoo Tour. That's going to be fun. That's today, folks, 6 p.m. today. Take a virtual tour of the Houston Zoo to learn about the animals who live there and how you can save animals in the wild. Go check your emails for details on the event. We'll also have an email address in the social media post for the show. Free laptops. That's right. Free laptops in hotspots. We're working on it for students, Brittany.
We are. And that's thanks to our library services and the Rotaract Club. HCC students may qualify for free laptops and hotspots. We're going to be sure to include the links for both in this post after the show, but this is just obviously a huge, huge support for our students who obviously are trying to complete their degrees, from home and, just need that help. So I am so grateful to our HCC libraries for putting forth this effort.
A little over 2 months ago, Houston was hit by just a historical winter storm, something we hadn't seen in decades. It changed all of our lives. We started thinking about things differently after that. A lot of us, including myself, were without power or water for the better part of a week. And we learned the value of electricians And plumbers, we certainly didn't have enough of them to answer the needs for the city of Houston. They were bringing them in from all around the country. HCC is taking a role in training the next generation of plumbers here in Houston. You can join them. We've got, in fact, scholarships available for students who are looking to get started in this profession. Classes are being held in June and July for just $545. And like I said, there's grants available to pay for this. It's amazing. You can sign up, get a new career, short-term training, get out there, get a job, and hopefully we won't see any more of those winter storms, but we're always going to need plumbers in Houston. Get your training here at HCC, 713-718-8903. We'll have that number in the social media post for the show. Habitat for Humanity, that is something that is happening as well. That's right. So join HCC student Mac Woods and her boss Chicks team, by donating by donating to reach their goal of $70,000 to continue their construction project. Lowe's Home Improvement donated, as did TC Energy. So corporate donations are very much welcome. So we'll have that link and videos and our post after this show. Mac is just a fantastic individual. I mean, she's great. She's been on the show several times. She's got the Petite Estates, which is an incredible idea. These small homes that they're building. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get one of those one day. One day, I'm going to get her to build me a home on the top of Lookout Mountain. That's going to happen. Yes. That would be gorgeous. Yeah. All right. New course delivery for summer and fall. We talked about this yesterday. We've been talking about it really for the last month. Face-to-face instruction is returning this summer, students, along in the fall as well. And the best part about it is you can sign up for classes right now for the summer and fall. We've got 5 learning modalities. We've got some online ones that are strictly online, some hybrids, which is a mixture of both, and face-to-face classes. Now, keep in mind, those classes on campuses are going to be very small, social distancing, and safety precautions in place. You'll need to wear a mask when you return to our campuses. So keep that in mind. If you want to sign up early because the classes will fill up fast. Go to hccs.edu/now for all your registration needs. All right, so Brittany's going to be back tomorrow. And hey, we got a special guest joining us again. He hasn't been on in a while. I know. We're welcoming the return of our resident poet, Dr. Jimmy Adams, also known as the College Operations Officer for HCC Northeast, who will have a tribute to the one and only Prince. Yeah, I've been seeing in social media, and I hadn't realized he's been dead now for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. When he died, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. It struck me. It was like David Bowie had just died a few days before. And it just struck me. It was in the same time frame as David Bowie died. David Bowie had passed shortly after his own birthday, like in January. The same year. It just seemed like we lost Bowie, then we lost Prince, Tom Petty was around that era, we're losing all these rock stars. Here's the sad thing about it, not to go off on a tangent, but here's the sad thing about it. I was reading an interview, I think it was with Pete Townsend from The Who the other day. Mm-hmm. And he said the challenge for the aging rock stars like himself, the Elton Johns and all that, he says is getting back out safely in public. Most of these rock icons, guess what, folks? They're in their mid to late 70s. Some are in their early 80s. And it's just, they're thinking it's not safe to get back out on the road again. We could have lost just a whole generation of rock stars that have been forced into retirement from touring. It's a shame, and you lose the ones like the Princes. It's just really sad, So anyway, Prince tomorrow, we'll have a tribute on the show. And then it's Film Friday as well, Brittany. That's right. So Katie Todd, Vice President of World Fest Houston, will be here to talk about the Famous Loco Films major anniversary going on now, and we'll find out the films on tap. So that's going to be really exciting. Yeah. So students in the film program, you may want to tune in tomorrow. So we'll have some information that's right. We'll be watching you. Watch us as well. All right. Frank's off for the rest of the week, but Brittany, you will be in tomorrow. Filling in for my boy Frank, do what I got to do. And we're going to keep this show going. So be sure to join us tomorrow morning for Up to the Minute on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow.